I'm George Michaelowski with Pittsburgh Sports Now.
And I'm Jamarius Burton. Welcome to the Just Buckets podcast.
Hey guys, Jamarius here. I want to thank the Scoring Factory for sponsoring the Just Buckets podcast. The Scoring Factory provides top-notch, detail-oriented training for basketball players of all ages in the Pittsburgh area. I go to Pete Strobel at the Scoring Factory to fine-tune the details of my game by focusing on the individual skills that have gotten me to this level. Come get some at the Scoring Factory. Welcome back to the Just Buckets podcast. I am Jamarius Burton here with the special guest and today's co-host, Aidan Fisch. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to get on the podcast, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna go, various routes with the show, but let's pick it up with, a couple games. We've been in the swing of things. We've been making headway in the ACC. Let's pick it up at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. That was a game going into it, kind of worried me. Sometimes coming off big wins and any type of season, you're going to have your ups and downs. And away games in the ACC, they're pretty tough. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter who you're playing. I know Georgia Tech maybe doesn't have the greatest record, but, you can't really lay off on any of these games. So, that was a game. I don't know how you thought, but they stuck around for a while.
Yeah. So starting off in that game for me, I felt like we had some defensive breakdowns. We didn't secure the rebound a few times, and we gave those guys multiple looks, and they were hitting threes to start the game off that kind of kept the score kind of close.
For sure. I mean, everyone says best time to shoot a three is off offensive rebound, and they were taking full advantage of that.
Right. So, along with them knocking down some threes, that kind of kept the score kind of tight, especially going into halftime. What were some guys that from your perspective, you were on the bench? What guys did you see on the floor in that Georgia Tech game that were getting some things done?
I mean, man, obviously Nike stood out. He's the spark off our bench, and I saw a stat when he plays X amount of minutes. Mm-hmm. We've got a great record. He brings that, like I said, spark, and he really brought it against Georgia Tech. We weren't firing as a team offensively as well as we usually do. Yeah, and he came in and kind of saved us.
I would agree. There was a play in particular in that game. I mean, he finished with 21 points, but there was one play in particular. I don't know if it stood out the most to you, but it was when he got the ball in transition. He pushed it up full court, and I don't know, he got between traffic, kind of did a Euro,
right,
and then he shot it backwards and banked it in and got the and one.
And one.
What was your reaction?
Man, I mean, first off, every time he gets a defensive rebound, the thing I'm thinking, it's like he's taking it coast to coast.
Yeah.
And, everyone on our team knows that.
Yes.
And he got out there. He's got unbelievable speed.
Yes.
Made that little Euro step, and I was like, sheesh. That definitely got us going for sure.
Definitely. We, like you said, he's a big piece to what we do, and he definitely, was the star of the game for that game for sure.
For sure.
Moving away from Georgia Tech, after that we traveled down to Louisville.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that game.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Louisville not having the greatest record in the ACC, but you can't really take them lightly. They came out firing.
Yeah.
I mean, they got on us quick, got a quick lead, and similar theme.
Yeah, it was a very similar theme.
Nike came in, hit some very big, I believe 4 threes in the first half.
Yeah, he had 4 threes in the first half.
I mean, that was huge. And
you know what else? Not only was it Nike, but it was some other guys that came in off that bench. I mean, Nike came in and was on a heater. Yeah. Like you said, I think he might have hit at least 3 threes in a row.
Yeah.
He went on a tear himself. And then Nate came in.
Yep, Nate hit a big 3. I believe Guillermo hit a 3 too from the top of the key.
Guillermo did hit a 3, and I think Nike was the one to throw it to him.
Yep. It was huge.
It was a pick and pop situation. Guillermo got the ball at the top of the key and just let it go. And the crazy thing is, I see him practicing all those shots with T.O. every day.
Oh, he's out there for 45 minutes after practice every day, you know,
so,
just shooting spot up threes.
So, like, in that scenario, I was so happy for him because I could see the hard work paying off.
Right, exactly.
You know, like, that's a shot that I've seen him practice. And for him to step up in the game and have that confidence to rip it was, you know, it was a big momentum thing for us because when he – was it Nate that hit it first and then him, or was it the other way around?
I honestly don't remember,
but I just
know they were both big.
Yeah, it was both big. So it was Nike that got off to a tear. Nate hit a three. He got an assist. He got out in transition. He also got an assist to me. And then G hit a big three. And it was like the energy had just rose.
Completely shifted.
Yeah,
and,
it shifted.
You know, and for a team like that, you throw that first punch, you know. They're probably going to back down. And that's kind of what happened. I mean, Guillermo, like we say, him and Fetty are such different players that when they come in, you know, Guillermo's going to pop on that stuff and kind of gives us a different look, the pick and pop, a little more spacing. Definitely big time.
Another guy that stood out in that game also was Greg Elliott.
For sure.
Talk about his play, his sharp shooting ability out there.
Yeah, I mean, we know Greg's going to shoot the ball well from three, but he was putting it on the deck too.
Oh,
you know, one dribble pull-ups. He was
He
really
had a cut to the
it.
basket too. I got a steal. They had messed up on an inbound. Or like it was a rebound, but he was falling out of bounds, and he tried to throw it back.
Yeah.
And I got it. It hit the guy's back, and I got it. And then here come Greg cutting down the lane, and I give it to him, and he gets an easy lay.
I'm not going to lie. I thought there was a chance he was going to dunk that.
Yeah. You know what? We all was like, had a little anticipation to us, hoping he would dunk it, but.
Speaking of Greg dunking the ball, someone told me that Greg used to be a slasher, very good athlete.
Who told you that?
Vason, right? And I didn't believe him at all.
Uh-huh.
So I look up Greg Elliott high school highlights. Couldn't believe what I was watching. Completely different player. First highlight, drop step dunk. Poster. Couldn't believe it. We'll share the clip.
Yeah, we got it.
Couldn't believe it. So when I saw that, I was like, man, maybe he's turning the clock back, back to his high school days.
Yeah, definitely. So we get a big dub out there in Louisville. We come back home, and we got a game against Florida State. Let's talk a little bit about that matchup. We kind of slipped the ball with that one.
Yeah,
they started off kind of similar to who was that? Georgia Tech.
Yep.
They were knocking down threes. Our defense wasn't intact. Offensive rebounds, not blocking out, securing the ball, securing our possessions, and they made us pay.
Yeah, I mean, you really look at them. They're a much better team than their record shows.
Yeah.
They had a lot of injuries at the beginning of the year, and they're kind of getting healthy now. But that's a team, they've got some talented guys. I just don't think they've always meshed well.
Yeah.
Now against us, they're not known as a shooting team, but they really shot 50% from three.
Yeah.
And you tip your cap to the green.
Definitely.
The green guy. I mean, he made some shots that
was very impressive. I mean, he shot a corner turnaround in front of our bench.
You don't really see that much.
Yeah, that was
guys shooting that much.
That was disgusting.
But, biggest thing for us is just, being able to flip that page.
Yeah. So we flipped that page. We got another home game. Yeah. We're playing a big school, Wake Forest coming in.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you think, but offensively, they're one of the best in the league. I mean, they're not the best. They're not great defensively, if we're being completely honest. But
I believe a good part of your defense is your offense.
For sure.
And they have an elite offense that kind of helps them on the defensive side. Besides, also, they got some big guys in the paint too that can kind of deter shots. And make things a little bit challenging. So I thought it was a very good matchup against them. But against Wake Forest, we was able to make a little history.
Yeah, 18 three-pointers, school record. Pretty unbelievable. Pitt, I don't think has ever been known for three-point shooting. Kind of changing that this year, especially. you know, back in the Big East, used to be known for, you know, defensive rebounding, toughness, slashing, all that stuff. But, you know, we're kind of meshing the toughness with the shooting.
With the shooting,
you know?
yeah.
little interesting mesh there. And, you know, we see Blake had 8 threes,
Yes.
tied a school record, previously set 3 times, most recently by Jared Wilson-Frame. You know, he was a great player 3 years ago, but Greg had 6 threes, Nelly had 3, and Nike chipped in 1 as well.
Yeah. I mean, our sharpshooters were going.
Yeah, and a lot of them were assisted by this guy to my left.
Yeah, I mean, I did pick up 9 assists, and it wouldn't have been possible without my sharpshooters. And I always say that. I tell these guys they owe me a couple double-doubles.
Right.
They already got me one when we played Louisville. I had 11 assists, but somebody told me the record is, I think, 16 or 15 or something. So
yeah, we'll be checking on that.
Yeah.
Definitely a little record chasing going on here.
Yeah, definitely.
The Just Buckets podcast is sponsored by Gussy's Bagels. Visit Gussy's at 3606 5th Ave, right in the heart of Pittsburgh's campus, for the best bagels in the burg. My favorite sandwich is the Top Gunner, which has sausage, bacon, egg, and cheese, with Gussy's special sauce on a fresh sesame bagel. Visit Gussy's for the best breakfast in town, and stay tuned for Gussy's giveaways all season long on the Just Buckets podcast.
But you mentioned a lot about, you know, Pittsburgh's history. You know, you're a Pittsburgh guy yourself. Let's dig a little bit deeper into your own personal story.
Yeah. So, you know, a lot of people know I'm from Pittsburgh. My dad has had season tickets since before the Peterson Event Center. So back when they played at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. And I've been going to games since I can remember. So I've been to over 150 Pitt basketball games. So I've seen just about everything. Also been going to Pitt basketball camps since I was little. I used to go to the camps back when Jamie Dixon was the coach.
Right.
Brian Regan was still there.
Yeah.
He still remembers me. You know, I was a little annoying little Pitt fan running around.
And not to cut you off, but you mentioned those camps, right?
Yeah.
And you have a pretty special role in the camps every year. I mean, I've only been here 2 years. I don't know how long you've been doing it. But explain your role each and every year in these camps.
So I take the guys through stretch, which back when I was a camper, there was a walk-on by the name of Nick Rivers, who was the most energetic guy in the program. You know, brought crazy energy every single day, and he was just tenacious and like so much energy during stretch. So you know, when I got on the team, I was like, I'm going to try and emulate that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I start the guys off at camp every day, you know, just making sure they're ready, amped up, you know, ready to have a great day. I mean, ultimately, they're there to have fun. So that's my role there. Yeah.
So, you know, you're a guy of many roles. You know, you started off as a manager.
Yes, sir.
And then you move your way, work your way to walk on. You know, just talk about, you know, your roles as they have developed, you know, being here at Pitt, and, you know, and the work and dedication that's gone into it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I came here with aspirations of, you know, playing at Pitt at some time. So, you know, I emailed around asking about a walk-on tryout. They weren't having one, but they were offering a manager's spot. So I kind of toyed with the idea. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do it, but I was convinced ultimately. And first day of practice, you know, Coach O'Toole threw me into drills and was kind of beating me up.
Yeah.
The big guys, they had 60 pounds on me.
Yeah,
you know, it was tough, but I was playing defense every single day. Scrapping.
Yeah.
Trying to make a name for myself. You know, ultimately that led to me being added to the team as a walk-on, and past 3 seasons have been a walk-on. It's been unbelievable. You know, it's a dream come true every single day, and I just try my best every single day to bring, you know, be the best guy that I can be, which will ultimately bring out the best in the team. You know, whether it is my role on the sideline, you know, just getting the guys going, or if it's in, you know, playing 5-on-5 and I'm trying to push the starters, you know. I'm gonna try and get mine. You know, it's gonna make you better.
Yes.
And then, you know, recently Coach had me on scholarship.
Yes.
That was
congratulations about that.
Appreciate it. That was, you know, kind of a culmination of all the hard work I put in.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
So talk about, the emotions that went into it, because a lot of people don't know. You talked about your journey here at Pitt, but before you came to Pitt, you know, you experienced some injuries and things like that in high school that a lot of kids, you know, would have deterred them from, you know, pursuing basketball long term and, you know, working your way up to where you are now. Speak about, you know, your journey as a kid, experiencing those injuries, and then to get all the way up to here up to here at this moment where you are a scholarship player on a D1 program that's winning games, and your impact is tremendously felt.
For sure. You know, I have this tattooed on me. It was the first tattoo I ever got. It says "Against all odds," and I firmly believe that. I was born with a collagen deficiency, which kind of left me susceptible to broken bones, torn ligaments, basically all types of lower extremity injuries that you could get in basketball.
Yeah.
From the age of 9 till 17, I broke over like 9 bones. I had 2 knee surgeries, and you know. But the one thing that was on my mind is I loved basketball. You know, that was every single basketball season came around, and I'd worked my tail off in the off season, and I got hurt in the season. And you know, it can be pretty, you know, depressing and deterring to a young athlete, but you know, developed, you know, some mental fortitude to kind of push through that. And you know, a lot of people don't know. When I was in high school, I was 5'8", 100 pounds till I was a senior, you know, which was kind of, you know, I was under the radar. I wasn't the biggest performer, but, you know, I had that work ethic, and I kind of grew into my body once I got to college, matured a lot. And, you know, I think everything that I've went through has, you know, made me a better player, a better person, and a better teammate, all in all.
The Just Buckets podcast is brought to you by the Oaklander Hotel, where relaxed luxury meets incomparable services. Located in the heart of Pittsburgh's Oakland neighborhood, they provide extraordinary service and an upscale experience you won't forget. Book the Oaklander Hotel, the best spot for your next stay.
Yeah, so, you know, before we, you know, end the show for today, what are some, you know, words of encouragement that you would give to a younger kid in Pittsburgh or anywhere, you know, in the world that is, you know, maybe experiencing an injury or experiencing some, you know, life difficulties that, you know, may be on the edge of quitting, but, you know, with your story, they can get hope?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the only thing I have to say is, you know, hard work and perseverance, it always comes out on top. It doesn't matter who you are. Never stop chasing your dreams, you know. The only way you lose is by stop chasing your dreams. You know? It's just hard work is undefeated, and you know, I'd like to think I'm an example of that.
Yes, sir. You definitely are, man. You've definitely motivated me. Like when I heard about your story and the type of injuries that you had experienced, you know, with your own personal journey, it definitely motivated me. You know, because when I came here, I had a knee surgery. I was on my second one, and I was sitting there trying to battle, you know, to get myself prepared to try to play some of these games. And when I heard your story, it motivated me because I see, you know, another guy that's experienced some of that hardship and have, you know, came back on top. And I commend you for that, man.
My man, yeah, appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, so that wraps up another show of the Just Buckets podcast. Me and Fish will be back with some more game recaps. We appreciate you coming on. This was my co-host.
Yep, first time on. Really enjoyed myself. We'll be back.
Yeah, definitely. Stay tuned.